What's up, guys? Oh, yep, it happened. It happened. Finally, I had an exchange today, and what do I always? What is my favorite phrase that I love to say? The truth is stranger than fiction. Always is. I want that to stop being true. I want to stop saying that the truth is stranger than fiction, but first, the truth has to stop being stranger than fiction. What's up, DM? What's up? I can't see all you guys, but what people? All right. So, one basically one of the jobs that I have, it's part time to make money, is I do package delivery, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm in my work van, and I just felt like today was a MAGA hat kind of day, as you can clearly see. So I wore the MAGA hat. No, this isn't the first time I've worn the MAGA hat at work. It's not the only time I don't really wear it is inside the building. But when I'm out delivering, I have this thing on unapologetically. I don't care. And yeah, so I'm out delivering packages. I had a couple heavy boxes, so I took them to the lady's front door. She happened to be outside when I delivered, and they were kind of heavy. So I said, "Oh, let me sit them on the table for you, so you don't have to, reach down and pick them up." She's like, "Oh, okay, cool." It was a nice little exchange. And then I said, "Okay, have a good day." And then I started walking away, walking back towards the van. And I heard her say, "Let me ask you something." And I said, "Yeah." She said, "You don't really support Donald Trump, do you?" And I'm like, would I be wearing this hat if I didn't? What is this? And then she proceeds to, we start talking. So I walk back up towards her fence or whatever, and we start talking. And she's like, you wearing that hat doesn't do anything. Because she asked, like, why are you wearing the hat? And I told her, you know what? There's several reasons why I wear this hat. And I told you guys that, right? Like, this hat, to me, doesn't really have anything to do with Trump anymore. It has everything to do with this country and with the principles of this country and the things that we believe in, the things that unite us, the things that bond us. This hat is a symbol of unity and love, but it's also a declaration of independence, right? You think about how intolerant our society has become. And also, it's like, it's a symbol of rebellion for me. The left tells me I can't do something, I'm going to double down on it, right? They're always talking about, oh, it's the White Hood and the Ku Klux Klan and all. They're trying to do all this stuff, and it's dishonest and it's disingenuous. And so when I wear this hat, I'm pretty much flipping the bird at the establishment. We all are. They're so bitter. They hate this president, but they hate everyone else who supports him. And this hat, "Make America Great Again," that means something different for everybody, And Bill Clinton actually said it first. So I'm telling her all this, right? I'm telling her all that. And then she goes, no, Trump's rhetoric is really, really tough. And of course, yes, if you're wondering, this is a white lady. This is a white lady. Absolutely, it's a white lady. Which is why I was waiting for it to be about race. I was waiting for her to try to shame me, but she definitely tried to shame me. I made a list of stuff that she said because it got a little heated. I mean, it wasn't like a shouting match, but she wouldn't let me get a word in. At one point, she kept interrupting me. She would ask me questions, and then when I start to answer, she would just interrupt me. She kept doing it, and I started getting mad because I was really asking her questions. I'm like, okay, I'm about to crush her. And so she pretty much said, yeah, Trump's rhetoric is really tough. He's really racist. He's so terrible. Every argument she made, I refuted with facts. I'm like, could you tell me how he's racist? Could you give me one example of how he's racist? Because there's overwhelming evidence to the contrary of him being racist. She couldn't do it. She just kept on going back. He's rhetoric. I think it got disconnected there. Okay, so she goes like, oh yeah, Trump is this terrible person and Republicans are bad. And I'm like, wait a minute. So even if Trump were not elected, I would still not be a Democrat. That's more important, is the fact that I do not support Democrats. And guys, when I tell you, this lady looked shell-shocked. She probably, I bet you after I left, she probably just looked at it was just some radical black man in a MAGA hat. But she was shell shocked to find out that I am educated and I was dropping truth bomb after truth bomb on this lady. She's like, well, what about the income inequality? I'm like, what income inequality? Like, there's always inequality, and you can't legislate equality. There's equality of opportunity in this country, but there will never be equality of outcome in no society ever. Not in the human world, not in the animal kingdom. You got to work for what you get, and outcomes are going to vary. I was telling her all this stuff. She wasn't having any of it. Now, okay, so now that I'm at this red light. So I gave her an example of like, okay, me wearing this hat is likely to be attacked for wearing this hat than be attacked by someone wearing the hat. And she's like, Trump supporters are violent. They're the ones that are doing this. They're the tough people. They're the ones, basically intolerant. And I'm like, every single intolerant person I met is a leftist, a liberal, someone who calls himself progressive and accepting. And I'm like, go inside right now, get on YouTube and type in Trump supporters attacking people. You will only get videos, with the exception of a few. You will mostly get videos of people attacking Trump supporters. The truth is stranger than fiction. She just believes wholeheartedly that it's Trump supporters and Trump that are inspiring violence and hatred and bigotry. But when you turn on your TV, when you turn on the internet, when you see, it's always leftists attack Trump supporters. And she's like, you watch too much Fox News. See, this lady was so just brainwashed. She's drunk on her Trump derangement syndrome. So she talked about income inequality. And I refuted her with facts and reason and stuff. And then she then tried to use her age as an argument. She's like, actually, I've been around much longer than you. I'm like, so what does that mean? That means you're smarter than me? You're smarter than me because you've been around longer than me. So she tried to like shame me for being young. It was the craziest thing because up until now, I had not had any kind of confrontations with people who are opposed to Trump. I really hadn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. There have definitely been people who don't support him and they've given me dirty looks. But it wasn't until today that someone actually confronted me and actually said something about it. And we just were going back and forth for probably about 15, 20 minutes. And I told her, Trump supporters are the ones getting attacked. And then she kept giving me these anecdotal examples. She's like, well, I went to a Bernie rally one time and I got attacked for wearing a Bernie shirt. Or she said, no, she got attacked for walking in a neighborhood wearing a Bernie shirt. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense. This lady, I think she was making that up. Because where we went with it, I know I'm kind of jumping around with the story. The reason why we got there is because she wouldn't believe me where I said Trump supporters are the ones getting attacked. She's like, oh, you just watch Fox News. I'm like, ask yourself this. Am I more likely to get attacked for going through a Republican neighborhood? I said I will go through the most Republican red neighborhood in the country wearing an Obama hat, a Bernie shirt, I'm with her Hillary t-shirt. I could go through any Republican neighborhood right now wearing Democrat attire. At the very most, I'll get some looks. That's it. Now, if I had a MAGA hat on and I go walk through Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, LA, Chicago, any of these, this thing keeps cutting out. I don't know. So anyway, I told her like I would at least be in some kind of altercation if I were wearing a MAGA hat going through a liberal city, because liberals are the intolerant ones. Not all, but most are intolerant, are bigoted, are hateful, are mean-spirited, and I would get so much vitriol, insulted. And she was just, so then she came up with the anecdotal, well, that's happened to me. I was a Bernie supporter and I went through in a Republican. Get out of here, lady. You've lost it. You are lying through your teeth right now to me. You mean to tell me that conservatives are marching through the streets and going up, holding up signs? No conservative does that ever. No conservative does that. There's no conservatives going to block free speech and attack people who think different. We actually want to hear your ideas because we know we can defeat them. We can defeat your ideas. Simple. And so I'm about to park in a second, and then I'm gonna go through this list because I actually wrote down every point that was made and some of the crazy things this lady said. So bear with me here because it was too great. It was such a sweet moment. You know what the irony of it all is? Um, I had a different route today, so I wasn't really prepared for the kind of people I was gonna see. But after that, not even 10 minutes after that, I'd go to a house to deliver a package, and it's this couple out front, and they were excited to see me. They were like, "Oh my God, is that a MAGA hat?" She's like, "Hell yeah!" High-fived me and everything. And not only that, I had like 4 to 5 people today who are Trump supporters who were like, "You're part of my family." This one family, they were having like a barbecue or something in their front yard, and I walked up to deliver the package. He's like, "Hey, we got an extra plate for this guy." I'm like, "See, that's what I'm talking about. MAGA is love. MAGA is unity. MAGA is freedom." And I got this list right here, okay? And so, yeah, the truth is stranger than fiction. This lady was like not having it. And I'm happy to see that I got some love after that. That was the universe taking care of it. Because you know what? Here's the thing, guys. I don't believe in coincidences. God doesn't make mistakes. Everything happens for a reason. Encounter that we have is meaningful. There's a reason for that encounter. There's something to be learned. Uh, my goal was not to trigger this woman and like get her all up worked up. My goal was to, and that's my goal anytime I'm wearing this, is to have the conversations, because the only way we're going to be able to improve and heal as a country, have conversations. But you have one side that wants to shut down conversations. It's not like I'm going out there trying to just start fights or trying to, you know, some people will say, "Oh, you're asking for it, wearing a MAGA hat in public." I'm like, "No, actually, that's not how it's supposed to be. That's not the way the world is supposed to be. You're not supposed to be subjected to violence or vitriol for a hat that you're wearing. It's freedom of speech, okay? But we're not there yet as a country because we're not having these discussions. So when I wear this hat, one of two things is going to happen. One of three things. I'm going to see other people who support it, who love it, and it's going to be a meaningful interaction. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. Or I'm going to encounter somebody who doesn't like it and we can have a discussion. Or I'm going to encounter somebody who's going to be a bigot and I will expose them for being a bigot. Right? Going back to how I say, the truth is stranger than fiction. So all these people who are angry and hate Trump, they hate Trump. But they won't acknowledge that they're responding to what they perceive as hate with hate of their own. Right? So this lady, I got to get out of this vehicle. This lady, let me see. She said she wanted Elizabeth Warren for president, which tells you everything you need to know right there, because we're talking economy and stuff. And she didn't believe me that 90% of media was negative and was left-leaning. I told her 85% of journalists are registered Democrat. She didn't buy it at all. And that's what's scary, is a lot of people, they don't even know that they are in an ecosystem of propaganda. They don't understand it. So she didn't believe that I was saying like 90% of media is negative.